there! Today I'm sharing real estate transaction spreadsheets and a real estate deal template. You don't want to miss this one. Let's get started. If this is your first time visiting my channel, thanks so much for stopping by. My name is Carrie Jonikis and I am the proud owner and a transaction manager at Amplify Transaction Services. If you would like to learn more information about how we can help you, you can visit our website at www.amplifytransactions.com. Management spreadsheets that I'm going to share with you. If you would like a copy of any of these spreadsheets or deal templates, definitely send me an email at info@amplifytransactions.com and I would be happy to share them with you. Let's head on over to the computer and take a look at what those look like. Few variations that I am going to show you of different spreadsheets that we can choose from. So this one is more, I would say, a simple version. Not as much to look at on the screen than maybe some of the other options. So it basically is tracking the closing date, the property address. Obviously, if you are a real estate agent and you are tracking your own transactions, you wouldn't need agent name as a field. If you're a transaction manager and you're wanting to use a spreadsheet, then you may want to have that field. And then the type of transaction that it is, a seller or a buyer, or if it would be possibly a dual. And then these are the things that maybe you are tracking. I would recommend, if you're working in multiple different states, that you have different tabs per state that you're working in, because some of those deadlines might be a little bit different. So for instance, in South Carolina, there isn't a due diligence fee, whereas North Carolina, there could be earnest money deposit plus a due diligence fee. So tracking those two would be separate. And in my opinion, to have them both on the same screen, even though you're working in multiple different states, is a little bit more overwhelming than if you just separate them with different tabs. And again, if you want a copy of my templates that I already have, feel free to send me an email at info@amplifytransactions.com and I would be happy to share a template with you, so you would just be able to plug and play your information in there. So the categories that I have are lender updates. Do I need to do a lender update? Have I requested it? Have I received it? You can also add at the end, if you wanted to, like a notes field or a lender update note field. So every time you have a lender update, you could put in the notes. That way you're tracking it on your screen. And then for the next categories, I just have repairs agreed, appraisal has passed, did title come in, is it clear, have we received the clear to close, and has the loan package been sent to the attorney and has been received. So those are the things that maybe for me I'm specifically tracking outside of, my other checklist. Of course, you can add things like the earnest money deposit or the due diligence payment, inspection scheduled, and have you sent the repair request. Obviously there's more that you could add if you wanted to. This was kind of like a second check to my transaction management system. I do not use this anymore. However, if you are just getting started, it might be a great way for you to manage your transactions. Again, this is a more simple view that's just kind of like a second check to maybe your main checklist. And then I have another one that you could use, which goes over all of the dates. You can have multiple different transactions all in one view, which you could scroll through and then you would make the check boxes. Again, to me, this one's a little bit too overwhelming for me as a daily checklist. And then this one as well, this is not my virtual whiteboard. This was just another one that was shared with me through a real estate coach that was coaching transaction managers. And this was one that was shared with me that, you know, you definitely could use, but again, it's very overwhelming. There's a lot of information in here, which if this is the only system that you are using to manage your transactions, it might be the information that you might need. I'm the type of person that less is more. Like, I don't want a lot of overwhelming information all on one screen. And so for me, this really wouldn't work. I feel like I would miss something. There's just too much to scroll through to look at. Just definitely would not work for me. And then next one, and this is kind of like a smaller version of the last one, and that is, it is all on that screen. But it's similar to this one, but it's all on one screen. So this is maybe a longer version of what maybe this one might be. But again, you have many different options to choose from. And I do think that if you are first starting, as either you are a real estate agent and you want to be able to have a system to track your transactions, you're not necessarily ready to have a transaction manager, and you want to manage your transactions, a spreadsheet is a great way to do that, with keeping it low cost. So if you only do maybe 3 or 4 transactions a year, it's really probably not worth the investment to invest in a transaction management software, because you probably could very easily use a spreadsheet and be able to track your transactions without having to be overwhelmed, and make sure that you are, you know, hitting the mark on those dates. But if you are doing a lot of transactions, say over 12 transactions a year, that's when you want to probably invest in a transaction management software. I did do a video going over the different transaction management softwares and my recommendations and reviews on those transaction management software programs, and I would definitely recommend that you take a look at those videos. I will link that above. And again, if you want a copy of any of these templates, feel free to send me an email at info@amplifiedtransactions.com.